Everything I do, every time you allocate money, it's some sort of gamble. But the question is it a smart gamble or not? Are the odds in your favor or not? All right, guys, this is a reaction video, something about Warren Buffett. I have not seen it. I don't watch videos very often. Luckily, intern Nate sent me a video that's only a minute long. So let's check it out and I will comment.
I mean, when I was 21, I went on my honeymoon. My wife was 19. We went through Las Vegas. And I went in and I saw all these well-dressed people most of whom had come 1,000 miles or so, and they'd come to do stupid things. And I looked around and I thought, boy, am I going to get rich. I mean, imagine going 1,000 miles to throw a bunch of dice where you know you're going to lose money over time if you keep doing it. Those people are making decisions in the stock market and they set prices, and all you have to do is every now and then look at one and say, wait, that doesn't make any sense in terms of where it's selling.
I love it. So first off, people like gambling. It's a recreational activity. I'm not going to criticize that. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800, whatever. But I understand his point. His point is, literally you walk in the casino and the casino says, look at all this nice stuff we have. This is all based on you giving us money. The more money you put on the table, the more likely we are to pay for nicer stuff. It's literally in the favor of the casinos, and yet people still go there and say, I can win. I still hear stories about people who say, oh, I beat the casino all the time. No, you don't. No, you don't, because the real people beating the casino are counting cards and they're not talking about it. But what Warren Buffett's saying is, this is something I've really in the last 2 or 3 years have come close to. I'm not trying to be so focused on the nitty-gritty details of companies. First off, that bores me. Secondly, I just want to get to a point where I can look at the market and look at specific stocks and say, that doesn't make sense. That's my goal. That doesn't make sense. Now, the good news is I can also do this when things are crazy high. I can look at that and say, I can make bets using options saying that stock should not be anywhere close to that level. It's so egregious. Let me make a bet based on that. And that's the idea of what being an investor is. It's just about being patient. Now, you look at Warren Buffett's cash hoard right now. It's like $100 and some billion. He's got a lot of money. It's hard to sit there and invest that money. And for you, the average person who's waiting for retirement, I do not suggest that, because your job, it's essentially like if the casino came to you and said, we want you to finance our winnings. Would you say no? No. And that's the point. You don't know if any given day they're going to lose money or make money. But you know that over years and years of time, you're going to make money as long as somebody's not changing the cheating or something like that. That's the same thing with dollar cost averaging. You don't know if you're going to make money in the next year or 2 or 3 years. But over decades and decades of time, you'll never know the exact perfect time to invest. So you may as well invest at all times and just dollar cost average along the way. Look at our inflation recently. Inflation made our stock market to GDP ratio almost fall in half in a matter of 1 year. Why? Because inflation just skyrocketed. We saw more growth in the last 1.5, 2 years of GDP growth than we'd seen in the previous 5 years. Why? Because of inflation. We don't know that anything's going to happen. Now, if you want to take a piece of your portfolio and put those to individual stocks, you should do that. But do that with a lot of patience and with what Warren Buffett's saying. Just observe. You're at the casino watching all these people give their money to the casino. Funny thing is, when I play blackjack, I basically do basic strategy. The funny part is, I will literally be at a table and somebody will say, you should have done that. Look, it cost me this.
You took my queen, Ray. I've got a 10. I needed that queen. I can't take your queen.
It's like, well, first off, I played basic strategy. And secondly, it's proof they don't understand what basic strategy is. Basic strategy doesn't depend on what the person next to you is doing in a continuous shuffle. It just depends on your cards versus the dealer's cards. Because you don't know how your decision is going to affect 20 deals down the road. And that's when I sit there and say, what he says, boy, am I going to be rich. Because I look at it saying, man, people are literally, we were just talking before this video, Tesla's down 50-some% in the last 3 months. And now every story is about Twitter, Elon Musk, how he's terrible, he's lost focus, etc.
Twitter has actually proven to be quite a distraction. And I think that investors have lost a little bit of confidence in the fact that Elon Musk is able to sort of juggle all of these balls.
But when the stock was at 414, there was no even question, could Elon Musk even handle all of this? He's a god. Look at a year ago. Elon Musk is a god. I'm an Elon Musk. Elon Musk is that. It was no questions asked whatsoever. And all of a sudden now the stock is less than half and people say, now you're questioning? It's just like FTX to me. All of a sudden, all these people are asking all these questions of STX. Hey guys, where were the questions ahead of time? Be the smart person. Don't be the one later on saying, hey, casino, what were your odds of winning? No, go in there and say, all right, I'm going to enjoy myself, but I'm not going to go try to make a lot of money doing it. There's a difference between playing $25 hands, you can afford $2,500 hands, versus you can only afford $25 hands and you're betting $200 hands because you want to make money. And that's the world of investing that people see. I don't see it as investing. That to me is pure speculation and gambling. To me, investing is seeing disconnected bets. Everything I do, every time you allocate money, it's some sort of gamble. But the question is it a smart gamble or not? Are the odds in your favor or not? And guess what? Even if the odds are in your favor, it still doesn't mean you're always going to be right. That's the reason for diversification. This is all a big part of it. And there's a reason why the casinos make a lot of money, because the numbers are on their side. The hard part is when it comes to investing in stocks, you'll have a stock, you only have a couple hundred stocks you're probably looking at in the grand scheme of things. So you're so enamored with them and you're so hung up on them, as opposed to blackjack. One more hand. Let's go. One more hand. One more hand. One more hand. The funny part is the one game I think is smart for investors to learn is poker, because that's when you're playing the average Joe, not the house. And the calculations are all right there. And you ever meet a good poker player? They know, well, here are the odds of me winning this hand, but I could lose it sometimes. And they do their bets based on that. Poker to me is the most relevant to investing. That to me is the ultimate strategy for investing. Like, hey, if I bet this, what are the chances of me winning this? Well, it's pretty high. So I want to put more chips on the table. I want to put everything on the table because I could still be wrong. They still could have blah, 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 blah. And it also takes the patience of being like, I'm not going to bet until I have something good. Because the question they have to ask themselves at the table is, how good is what I have? And that's why I don't think bluffing works very well on a consistent basis. Because if you're known as a bluffer, that's another strategy. And to me, that's also speculation and gambling. But if you sit there, I always tell people, I don't bluff. If I have something, I have something. Question is, how good is it? That is the question. That is the ultimate question. When I invest my money, I feel like I have something in a stock. The question is, how good is it? Can I be wrong? Absolutely. I've already taken my licks this year. I'll be fine with that. But I'm also going to be right a lot of times and really right sometimes. And that's the goal. So guys, listen to that quote because he talks about it. It's about you. When you invest, you're basically betting against the crowds. When you're putting money in investment, you're saying, is the crowd right or wrong? And if you understand human behavior and you understand the way people are, I hate it when I hear people clapping and say, people are dumb. Everybody's like, yeah, guys, we're all the dumb ones. The question is, are you just a little bit smarter than everybody else? And the way to be smarter than everybody else, have a better emotional mindset and temperament. Thanks very much. Follow the channel. I appreciate your time. There are 3 things that you absolutely need in order to be a successful investor: the proper mindset, the proper emotion, and the proper process. Which ones are the most important?